here in Tallahassee, Florida. It is 57 degrees outside, or 14 degrees in Celsius, and it is a pretty muggy day. Today I am going to the market so I can pick up a couple of things for my week, and I thought I would bring you guys along and see how I do my grocery shopping. I, for one, really enjoy grocery shopping. I don't know if that's a little bit weird, or maybe you share this with me, but I have fun with it. Let's get to it. So I just got back from the market and it is pouring outside, like literally pouring rain. And it just started raining when I was leaving the market, and I got home and it really looks like it's going to rain all day, so that basically puts a damper on my plans to go to a veg fest today, because that is outside at a park. Instead of going to the veg fest, I guess I'll show you guys how I prepare my meals for the week. It is now lunchtime, so before I get into my lazy Sunday prep work, I just fixed myself a quick bootable. So I'll just show you what I made. Here we have some tomatoes, kale, lemon garlic tofu, chopped carrots, baked sweet potato wedges, and I popped some pine nuts on top. I mean, just look at how beautiful this bowl is. Here we go. Oh, I'm about to dig into this. Okay guys, so first in my meal prep, I like to go ahead and boil my potatoes ahead of time. So I'm just going to wash these, chop them up, and boil them. Then I can leave them in little containers, and they're really easy to grab and toss in a salad or add to my meals, reheat them during the week. While the sweet potatoes are boiling, I'm going to chop up my other vegetables that I can easily throw into my salads throughout the week. It just saves you a little bit of time during the week. potatoes are almost ready, and while those are finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and wash all of my fruit. That's blueberries and strawberries. I already had blueberries from last week, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wash those. I just drained my steaming potatoes and those look perfect. I'm going to let those cool before popping them in the fridge. You really want to let your food reach a nice room temperature before changing temperatures into a cold spot such as the fridge or the freezer. My potatoes have cooled. I'm going to go ahead and pop those into a container so they can stay relatively fresh. These should last me about 4 days. You don't really want your prepared food to go more than 4 days. I mean, you can. I just find it loses its freshness if you keep it for longer than that. So, of course, this is goes on a case-by-case basis. Some things keep better longer than others. All set. So the last thing I'm going to prepare is my grains. Right here I have a super grain blend, and this, just like the sweet potatoes, is definitely a staple in my vegan kitchen. I love incorporating quinoa or quinoa blends in my salads, soups, meals throughout the week. So this one that I have right here is just a mix of white quinoa, red quinoa, millet, and buckwheat. So this is a gluten-free blend. 2 parts water to 1 part grains, and just let that simmer for about 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, make sure that it has absorbed all of the water, and then you know that it's ready. Before I add my water, I want to make sure that I rinse these through, and you'll see when you rinse your grains, they're kind of like a cloudy water is released, so you really are cleaning the grains, and it's really important to do that before you cook them. Just like beans or grains, you want to make sure you rinse them through before cooking them. Okay, those are my 2 cents on make sure you rinse your beans and grains. Then of course, add your water. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't she just cook the quinoa when she cooked the potatoes? Wouldn't that save time? Truth is, I only have 1 pot like this one where I would be able to do that. So that's why I do it separately. You don't really need more than that. So why would I keep more than that when I don't really use it that often? Also, my beans, I'm not going to prep those because I keep canned beans, which are already cooked, and that also saves me time from having to soak and then cook them. As for the lentils, I'm not going to prepare those because I know I already have some canned beans left over from last week. My quinoa is cooked and cooled. I'm now going to show you how I separate that into individual containers. So that's about it. I hope this vlog wasn't too boring for you. That's how I would prepare my meals for the week. I just like to chop up the veggies, cook what needs to be cooked, and leave it in separate containers in the fridge. This really saves you time during the week, and it's just a lot easier when everything is already prepped and in the fridge. After my meal prep, I was feeling a bit peckish, so I prepared for myself a smoothie bowl. I'll just show you what's in here. We've got some banana, walnuts, pecans, blueberries, chia seed, and a strawberry rose. I know the strawberry rose looks pretty fancy, but I was just feeling it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have a good Sunday. Bye.